Hello and welcome back to the Mobius Archives. This is your host, Mobius Rex, and we are playing Kerbal Space Program. When last we left, we were trying to get the Adventurer sat ship back home. It did not work. Also, the Adventurer satellite refueler mission. This one. Fly that. I neglected to actually put an antenna on this system. If you noticed, back here we have a Sat Mission 2, and I don't know which one's which. Let's just try this one. Here's the probe. But there should also be... Oh crap, where'd it go? There should also be... another ship. Really close to that. I don't know where the satellite had gone. We must have just drifted off enough in the day or so since I recorded this. Or since I set this up. This is actually our refueler mission for those satellite crew. This has a lot of fuel. Or enough fuel. To make it... But it's also in a stable orbit right now, so we don't have to move it immediately. I just decided to get it up here. So why don't we go ahead and switch missions. So we know for a fact that the Moho Refueler Sat mission and the second one, which is the Sat mission 2, can make it to Moho and in orbit. So let's switch this up. So instead of the Moho Refueler Sat mission, Moho Refueler Adventurer Lander. Actually, this is just the Moho Adventurer Lander. We are abandoning the original Adventurer. Let's just strip this down. So we want to take this off. That's all our batteries. This should be... that's the satellite. Yes, it is. Actually, what weight was this originally before I started mucking about here? Moho Adventurer Lander. It doesn't need a 1 if it's the first one. Because the other one was just called the Moho Adventurer, right? This one will actually land. Command module is facing the wrong way. Huh. Funny. I'm guessing that's because of the satellite. Anyway, I was looking at... the mass, 774 tons. Do we lose much by getting rid of the satellite? 769 tons. Yeah, so the warning was all about the command module. So this is really just a fuel pod right now. So I'm just going to drop the engine down here, or the lift, and just going to call it the Moho Lift. Why not? Just so that we could get rid of it and work a little closer with this thing. Alright, gonna get working on making another lander. Be right back. Alright, we're going for a little MacGyver ship here. We're bringing as much science as we can with us. We have 370 parts. This is the biggest ship we've ever made. Our little probe here, which we're just going to leave behind. We're going to take with us, but we're just going to leave it behind. We have our lander ship with lots and lots and lots of fuel. We're not even getting rid of any of those tanks, so if we can't bring it with us, we're not taking it at all. Big fueler ship. Has our satellite with it, so we're just going to bring the satellite with us all at once. And the rest of this is pretty standard for what we've sent up before and stuck in the ground. So I need to get this reoriented. Let's just scroll up so you can see the entire thing. That is monstrous. That's our lander stage. It's festooned with signs. Nearly everything I have is doubled up. This is actually a probe that we're going to leave behind. It is the Science Junior and these surface scanning modules. Alright, well, the sun is setting, or Kerbal is setting. Hopefully all my stages are right. But let's launch. And while we're at it, look at the time. Look how fast this passes. That was 1 second there. 1 second. So normally I go with my gut feeling of what's going on this landing pad, but it is going to be incredibly hard as it stands. I'm going to do my best, but hopefully the ship will do everything for us. Leaving Kerbin. What a gorgeous shot. Goodbye, engines. Throttle up, get that acceleration back up. There we go. Has a few less things the game has to calculate. This ship is less stable than I like. It's still moving like a wet noodle. Wet noodle effect in Kerbal Space Program usually leads to disaster. So that'll require a little bit of restructuring, and we know those points aren't the greatest, aren't the strongest. Well, we just hit orbital. Nice. We changed up. Keep it in line. Keep you guys straight. Get rid of that lower stage. Alright. A little bit better. Still need to break orbit. Still need to break orbit. Whatever direction we're going, point prograde right now, please. We want to use that to most effect. I'm breathing a little easier. Oh, we even get to space right now. That's good. We want to keep on going past it. This is probably not how we will do future missions. Tall? Okay, but maybe not the best way. Alright, going to try a different approach. I've been trying a whole bunch of approaches here. This isn't the first time I've reloaded, but I've been trying to orbit, I've been trying to brake, I've been trying to orbit. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to transfer the fuel from this stage into this lower stage when this brakes, stops, whichever. And I am going to try to brake this time. Maybe it'll work. It means this stage was kind of useless, but I've reloaded so many times that I know for pretty much a fact that we do not have enough thrust in the poodle to even bring us into an orbit. So we might just ignore the fact that we have a poodle. There's space, thank you. And just start pointing straight up here. And just move what we have from here into this lower stage if we can. Can we? Yes, we can. Let's deplete that. Gives us more thrust in our back. But hopefully this will be the last hurrah, and we'll be able to at least stay outside of the planet's grip. Alright, that stage is gone. And so is that one. So we now have to rely on their nuclear fuel engine, which may or may not work. We got as far as 680,000 meters. We'll see how far this takes us, and whether we start falling back towards the planet. Orbital velocity is falling. Time to orbit is falling. Time to apoapsis is falling. Don't know that we're doing this. Yep, this is not working. Let's try something else. Alright, similar scenario. We are, instead this time, going to point prograde. Prograde, please, thank you. Point prograde. And just keep you fueled. Just gonna influence this, whoa, more towards, I don't want prograding, I want stability. More towards 45. That should give us a nice balance towards getting to orbit and increasing our orbital height as we manipulate our fuel reserves. Alright, that's the last of our fuel. We may or may not be able to do this. Oh, what's that? What am I looking at? I am looking at possibly a stable orbit. 70 by 132. I will take that. All right. Fantastic. We made orbit. Wow. I almost didn't believe that would happen. Okay, let's transfer this back into our poodle stage and ditch that thruster because it doesn't have as much, it doesn't have as great a thrust ratio. It has 340 per second specific impulse compared to 0. Not quite, I think. I just don't think I can see what that is. So we will stage. This is all completely empty now, right? Yeah. Stage. And that'll give our poodle... Yeah, better specific impulse for the poodle. And we will find an exit path for us. So what I'm going to use, I'm more or less going to use the sunset line as to where this one right here, you can see it, little tinges of red, as to where we're going to start our maneuver. This is going to be rough, but it is good enough for me. And just accelerate from there. Looks like we got an interaction with something, which may or may not happen depending. Let's try this again. I thought, yeah, we had an interaction. Which, what do you do to us? Is slightly less fuel. Assuming we don't get into a planetary collision. It may swing us out of Kerbal's reach. Like that. It's going to throw us in front of and below Kerbal. If we do it right. It's a minute 55 burn. No idea. Well, no idea if this stage has enough for a minute burn. We never did find out. Let's get ourselves in orientation. Alright, so we want around 57, 58 seconds before our node. Just so that we are crossing over front and back roughly at the same time. I learned that from Scott Manley. I don't know if it's actually true, or whether you can start at your node point. Let me know if you guys know. Just gonna throw ourselves into this. Trying not to miss our node, of course, because I do that way too often. Or I hit the wrong button. Never know. Alright, starting to see daylight. Let's get ourselves pointed better. Just have that little orbital drift. There we go. Come on, you can do it. Can do it. Just get close. And almost 58. Good enough. And now we have to both watch this. And what happens to our actual orbit? It's always that fuel that you're interested in. Pretty much when our oxidizer runs out, that's when we know that we've run out entirely. Everything in the kitchen sink. Let's get us more on point. There we go. Oh, there we go. 5-minute burn. I should have started at 250. Huh. We're going to miss this window. Apparently I hadn't calibrated our engines yet. And we're almost done with our oxidizer, which means this stage is about to run out. Aiming for you. Alright, that's about to go. And there we go. That's it. That's all. That's all she wrote. And now this is going to take 10 minutes to do the same thing. Let's not do that. Yeah, I don't think we have that interaction with the moon anymore. We could have an interaction with the moon. Not that one. Still going to be a 10-minute burn, so wherever we do it, if we can do it, we'll have to watch from here. See if we do get an interaction with the moon in our trajectory, and whether that does anything beneficial for us. Accelerate prograde vector. Actually do something useful. And we may or may not hit the moon at all. Who knows? Well, looks like we are getting interaction with something. And let's just adjust that with our RCS. How far out do we get? 19, 20, 21, 22. Looks like 22.8. Assuming we're not passing into the moon. Which, no, we have a good periapsis on that. That's not bad. We'll use that little boost, because our current apoapsis is only 16,000, or 16 million meters. Let's go ahead and take advantage of that. Did not plan for it. Oops. Did not plan for it, but I will use it. Then we could readjust when we reach that periapsis there. And blip. Oh, come on. Okay. Missed our periapsis. That's fine. Still doesn't touch Kerbin. We'll just go around for another loop. Oh, there we go. Kerbin escape. What's our orbit look like? Not bad. A little bit small. Smaller, which is what we want. Set our target. And now we know our ascending nodes. Alright. But, unfortunately, that's all the time I have for today. In order to get this out to you today, I need to stop recording here, stop playing. Ooh! Ooh! Beautiful! Sometimes you get a surprise. But I have to stop recording here for today, in order to get this out to you today. But until next time, this has been Mobius Rex from Mobius Archives. Thank you very much for watching. If you enjoyed the episode, leave us a like, leave us your comments and suggestions. I'm back with you next time. Have a good day, and a wonderful night. Bye-bye.